Welcome, world, to Life, Love, and Wellness Global, a worldwide wellness movement. I am Reverend Sandy Rogers, and as the creator of this historic event, it is my pleasure to welcome you. We come together to bring you this historic event. We have practitioners, holistic practitioners. We have medical doctors, we have spiritual individuals. This event is so lovingly dedicated to my mother, Mrs. Barbara Dean Brown. And my mother taught me like 40 plus years ago about the importance and the meaning behind herbs. And she would always say, we don't know what they putting in those pills, so you better not, get hooked on prescription drugs. And so we listened to Mom, but not all of us paid attention. My sister, bless her heart, was diagnosed recently thereafter with asthma, and she was prescribed prednisone, which is a very powerful steroid. And my sister actually got hooked on steroids, like someone out on the street kind of hooked, like on heroin or crack or something like that. And so my mom and my sister are both on the other side, living in the other dimension, but they're upholding me, and this is dedicated to their memory. So we don't want to come and make you change your mind about what you're doing. We just want to provide information to you, something different, so that you have options to choose from, so that you're not stuck. Because the environment that we now live in, the fast foods, the toxins in the air that we breathe and in the water that we drink, and the processed foods, and all of that is causing havoc on this precious body temple. So God created our bodies to heal themselves, but they can only heal themselves when they're fed and they're nourished and they're stress-free. And so the 60 or so or more experts that we have are bringing you this worldwide wellness movement in an attempt to share their testimonies and their information with you. So we have from age 14 on up. I don't even know what the oldest age is. I think 88 or something. So you see, that's a wide range of knowledge that we're bringing you. And so we hope that you come and that you get all the knowledge that you need to affect a positive change on your life, and share this with others. It's free, it's online, and so we're just so thankful that you decided to be a part of our listening community, the viewing community, and we certainly appreciate you for giving us your time of day and your energy and your efforts to being with us and to being a part of this historic event. We have pulled together people of color for you, by you, right? So we want to make sure that you understand that we too, melanated people with color, can enjoy, practice, and participate in some of these modalities that others have been doing for centuries, and that is pretty new to our community. So we talk about Qigong, we talk about meditation, yoga, spiritual work from a different perspective than religion. So we talk about the spirituality aspect. We talk about abuse in the families. We talk about all kinds of subjects because we know that in our communities there are layers and layers and layers and layers of stuff that we never talk about that's causing a negative effect on our bodies and its healing process. So we address it, whatever it is, and we hope that you will benefit from the many experts that we have, and that you walk away with lots of knowledge and lots of new information, and that you become fully empowered to share information with others. So thank you for being with us. We love you and we bless you, and we look forward to doing this again. But thanks for being here with the first one. We appreciate you.
Life, love, and wellness. Life, love, and wellness.
Well, thank you. First of all, I'd like to say thank you very much for letting me come on board for this great journey and great opportunity. My name is Chakayah Omwaso, and I started on this path pretty much at a very young age, looking at things, observing life as a young child, and not knowing that I was even then interested in the acumen of energy and was so in the midst of it, as I can say. But what led me on this great journey, believe it or not, was the food. As a young person, there was many things that I didn't really care for, and with having family from the South and very stern on, you eat what's on the table. I was very blessed to have a greedy little brother and a little sister that I could slide my food to. But the thing was, I was very selective even then toward meats and dairy products. And even to the point at a little incident when I was visiting the great-grandparents one summer, it happened that I ate my pet chicken. And I was about 12, 13 years old, and I was done. I was like, no, I couldn't eat. Did I eat Charlie? Yes, you did. And you said Charlie was good last night. So that led me even thinking, oh my God, how can I take in something like that? But thinking at that age, I was fully aware on how life was more so really to be honored in every way. And I understand for those, eat meat and everything, you do your prayers or whatever, or take it in with love by saying, this is good, and that's wonderful and all. But this is what led me on the journey where I was introduced to many forms of modalities, but the main course was, like I stated, was the food. And then learning the various vibrations of the food as well, because of the importance of us making sure that we have it seasonally, and also even through the age process, things you can eat as a young person versus a adolescence to an elder. But along with all of that, what's the most important is the energy that you carry with that more so than anything, because everything is energy.
Yes.
Yeah, so whatever you put out is what many times you do receive. And it may not come like that quickly, but within the cycle, it does return to you. So I was very blessed with being introduced to modalities like Reiki, access consciousness, along with body code. And with those, they're working with the mental aspect, because many of us were led into various forms of mental state and really don't know why. And what, just going through life, many things can trigger it. But the key is how to handle it, or if there's any way of handling it. And yes, we have many. With just the energy work alone, the best thing for you to do is breathe. Just take that moment and just take in breath. And what I can say is, with taking that breath, it's going to help to start bringing you to balance. And that's what you need. And with that balance, that can lead you into being clear to going into other modalities to assist yourself. Because we all have the gift of healing. And that's one of my main reasons I think I'm on this journey, to just be that example of being just that. Because I'll go through and I'll do my studies, do the work, and I'll share it. So with that, I hope that gives, the person a chance to have that experience, but to get the full benefit of the healing and knowing that they also have the power of doing that for themselves.
Excellent.
Most of us think of energy as like, putting a battery into an outlet or whatever, and that's how it happens. But it's more to that, It is, you have to look at yourself as being that component. And we've all have had the experience of various energies, as in love, as in hate. Those are just, some of the subtle ways, but the thing is that flow, you feel it. It's something that you truly do feel, through sadness or joy. But the thing is, with having the flow, as I'm stating, having that flow of energy and having that good feeling, or even having that bad feeling, when you extend that out to someone verbally or touching them, believe me, they feel what you feel. And that's energy. Having a good massage or a nap, you feel very settled, you feel comfort, you feel at peace. It is not a big woohoo, Star Spangled Banner type thing going on and sparkles and all that. It's a very, very, very settledness, because your body needs that in order to do the proper healing. You need to be at peace. You need to be settled, quiet. And that's how healing energy is. Many people feel sleepy and tired afterwards, meaning their body just needs to heal more. And it's taking that time to heal.
So what's the intersection of what you do in the various energy modalities?
Yes.
And I believe you said that you bring nutrition knowledge and education into that as well. So how does applying those affect, or what effect does it have on a person's wellness?
Well, it can have quite a bit, especially with applying Qigong to the technique or your repertoire of healing. That using that, you're doing a lot of breath work, a lot of body movement too, but with the nutrition aspect of it, you have to apply enough nourishment to your body. And it may not be the same for everybody, because some people say, well, I don't eat that much. Well, it may not be all that in foods. Many of us are dehydrated. We need more fluids, and you can apply your minerals in with your fluids as well through juicing, through smoothies, and that can assist and get your body up and running, because many times the masses do overeat, and you need that break so your body can take a rest and take a moment to doing healing the proper way. So with that, it's very important. The food applied with Qigong, even applied with any kind of energy work, because many of the foods can cause forms of blockage, stagnation, especially with the circulation of the blood. So, if you are in with working with yourself in the sense where you want every angle possible, because many times you can't get everything in, but you can get such a nice portion in and then go on to the next segment, because it takes time. We've seen it through many literatures through history and time, and they use it in a form of fasting. We just saw, Lent. We have one right there. Many things that we need to apply, giving our body a break, yes. Because fasting is a form of healing in itself. So it is a good thing. But if you have any kind of challenges where you're taking any type of meds or such, then you need a physician to be supervised, have them to have you under supervision.
So how would you answer, what is the purpose of your work?
Purpose of my work, I feel like more so than anything is to show and be the example of it, you know, and along with that, be just open to teaching and whatever information that I have to pass that information on. But I feel as though, you know, to really showing, okay, this is the way. If you choose this way, then good. But if you choose another, that's fine too, because that is to your preference. Because everybody can tweak and put a little bit of this and that. And I appreciate a little bit versus none at all.
And I've seen you, I've seen your energy, and it's just like off the charts, you know, and
Probably
you love to dance, you know, and all of that. And a lot of times, perhaps it's the food that slows us down, where we can't move as fluidly as you do. So,
well, perfect example, every Thanksgiving. You would think with all the family coming together and the joy and people eating, they'll get out and have fun. But what do? Sit around and watch TV and, you know, blah, blah, blah. It just gets slow, sluggish, you know. And we need to change that. We really do. We need to change actually the whole attitude toward food in itself. Because even this year I started something that the day of birth for myself, I do not eat on that day. So I'm a Wednesday child, so today is that day of just the fluids. And so, you know, incorporating that. And that's a great thing for us to have a good time frame to honor our body and apply those good things to it, which is a break from food, which is a good natural walk in the air, around trees. And if you can, walk with the giant steps and move your arms, because that is a form of a Qigong walk. And if you can, spread your fingers and feel the wind up against you, and take a real strong walk doing that. And you'll see the benefit. And if not, take a moment, sit down, converse with nature, hug a tree, smell the flowers, but feel the energy around you. Because those are really, really important things for us to do. Our ancestors spent many, many days, weeks, maybe months in mountains to just find out one or two little answers to a question that they had. Or maybe to see that Sirius B star that comes every 60 years. So it's important for us to slow down a little bit, especially with this fast pace that we have going right now.
So to a person that says they can't fast one day a week, that's just too much, how would you advise a person to begin the process?
Well, I would tell them to start off with just cutting back on something that they truly like. You know, for instance, like a person and say, well, every day I have to have coffee. I said, okay, then maybe try one day a week without having coffee. If that's too much, start off with half a cup of coffee and make your way down to no coffee that day. So baby steps like that. Just slowly with something that you like a great deal, and remove that, and gradually remove more and more and more.
That sounds workable. And so I like that, you know, like don't just deprive yourself, but, you know, love on you while you're cutting back and getting to a healthier state. So,
yes,
you know, that's excellent.
Because you may come to a really subtle agreement with that item and then say, you know, I don't need you any longer. And that item might say to you, you're absolutely right. It was fun while it lasted. Bye-bye.
I love it. And you were talking about like hugging a tree and walking outside and your arms moving. I've heard of a process that's called grounding. Is that what you're talking about? Or, you know, with the hugging of the tree and being outside?
Yes, grounding, so important. Many of us, when we hear that word, you don't know where to go with that. It is where you feel just scattered, unbalanced. You just seem like you just can't get it together. So through my the teachings, I've learned is to really go out and hug a tree, or just sit on the ground, back up against it, and just breathe with that. But if you don't have any of that around and can't do that, just, you know, take a moment and just take a breath, feel the energy coming from Mother Earth and connecting to you. And just feel that energy just rising into your body, all the way up to your crown, and even above your crown. And as if it's moving around. And then just slowly bring that down and send that either back down to Mother Earth, or you can send it out maybe through your hands, your fingertips, and just let it go out to the universe. And you do that a few times. And with a few of those techniques, any of those, and just take a moment and see how you feel after that.
So the breath is very important.
The breath is very important.
And I understand that many of us do not know how to properly breathe to get the maximum benefit from the breaths.
Yes, and the best way, and you know, and there's different types of forms, especially with different meditations and, you know, forms of exercising. But on the all in all, the main one you want is to inhale where your chest expands. So your chest is expanding, and then when you exhaling, you're releasing the abdominal and just letting it like spread out. So you do that a few times with the expansion, and then just letting it out, and then you can feel the release, but you can feel that build up in the chest, and then take it down slowly. And exhale it out the nose would be very good for you to start that way. And after a few of those, you do.
Very calming. I was doing them as you was giving the example. I was like, "Ooh, man, this feels good." Very calming.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So the breath, very, very important. Of course, food is a big part of it. But, you know, being with balance with yourself, keep yourself grounded, and just be aware of all the energies around you.
Do you have suggestions on food for the audience?
Oh, of course. My favorite is to eat with the seasons. Always eat with the seasons. And also experiment, meaning that whatever foods come out during that season, those are the ones you consume the most. You know, you of course can put in all your other, but consume those the most. And you may end up making a meal out of most of those foods. So you do that along with consuming your fluids. And if you eat enough fresh fruit and vegetables, it balances the fluids out where you won't need as much water as most people would think. Oh, I gotta drink a gallon or two. Well, if you eat enough fruit, you will, and also vegetables, that fluid from those foods is really what you need, and it'll balance that out.
Well, how do I find out what foods are in season? I mean, I can buy watermelon all year long and strawberries all year long. So where can I find information on what's in season, or is there an easy way to remember how to know?
Well, you know, many people do have their little charts for it. I guess I'm just so old school. I just kind of know what comes out around this. But you know, there are different books, forms of I think like an almanacs, but there's booklets. But even just check with your local grocery stores and say, you know, if you really don't know, what's in season this time of year. And one thing I also like to point out is to be mindful of foods with no seeds in them, especially the new thing with watermelon, oranges besides grapes, no seeds. be mindful. Yeah.
Not natural, right?
Not natural. Like the ancient ones, know thyself. If you know thyself, that is the best lead. And we've had so many great ones before us and have left that message for us. But to know thyself, and of course to love thyself, but to cherish thyself as well, because you have to take care of this beautiful body temple. And if you do that, you're doing the right thing.
Thank you, Sister Chakayah.
Thank you.